Democrats and Republicans pressed U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. over his recent vaccine policies in a contentious Senate hearing on Thursday, highlighting the sharp contrast between his approach and former President Donald Trump's pandemic-era initiative that accelerated vaccine development. The hearing quickly turned combative as lawmakers from both parties questioned Kennedy on the consistency of his decisions and the broader direction of the administration's health policy. At the center of the debate was Kennedy's controversial decision to dismiss Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Susan Monarez, just a month after she had assumed the role with his backing. The abrupt firing sparked criticism not only from lawmakers but also from public health experts who viewed the move as destabilizing at a critical moment for national health preparedness. Senators demanded detailed explanations for the dismissal, with many questioning whether the decision was politically motivated or rooted in substantive disagreements over public health strategy. Kennedy defended his actions, arguing that leadership at the CDC must align with his broader vision for transparency, accountability, and what he described as a more cautious approach to vaccine distribution. He insisted that the firing of Monarez was necessary to ensure that the agency's leadership reflected these priorities. However, his justification failed to ease the skepticism of lawmakers, who repeatedly pressed him for concrete evidence that his policies were improving public health outcomes rather than undermining them. The exchanges underscored the deep divide between Kennedy's philosophy and that of his predecessors. Trump's administration had launched Operation Warp Speed, an unprecedented initiative that fast-tracked the development, approval, and distribution of COVID-19 vaccines. While the program was credited with delivering vaccines in record time, it also faced criticism for perceived shortcuts and uneven communication with the public. By contrast, Kennedy has emphasized caution, slower rollout strategies, and re-evaluating vaccine mandates, a stance that has raised concerns about whether the government is adequately prepared for potential future health crises. Democratic senators accused Kennedy of undermining the nation's pandemic readiness by removing experienced leadership from the CDC and pursuing policies that could delay access to life-saving treatments. Republican lawmakers, while often supportive of scrutinizing public health agencies, also questioned the timing of Monarez's dismissal and expressed concern that Kennedy's approach could weaken the credibility of federal health institutions. The political backdrop of the hearing added to the tension. With public trust in health authorities still fragile following years of pandemic fatigue, Kennedy's policies are being closely watched not only by Congress but also by the broader public. Analysts noted that the controversy highlights the difficulty of striking a balance between ensuring safety in vaccine policy and maintaining rapid responses during health emergencies. As the hearing concluded, it was clear that lawmakers from both parties remain unconvinced by Kennedy's explanations. While he reiterated his commitment to strengthening public health infrastructure, critics argued that his actions have instead created uncertainty at a time when stability and clarity are most needed. The coming months are expected to test whether Kennedy's vision can deliver on its promises or whether it will fuel further political and public skepticism.